This is the Infinite Receiving Podcast, helping conscious leaders tap into a wealth of abundance across all areas of your life and business. I'm Susie Ashworth, and I'll be sharing with you how you can upgrade your reality through quantum transformation, because you are ready for infinite receiving.
Hello, you gorgeous human being. It is Susie Ashworth here, and you are listening to the Infinite Receiving Podcast. Oh, did you hear my little podcast? Wasn't that cute? It's a little early as I am recording this, so give my little podcast a little bit of love. I have got a slightly different one for you today. If you have been following me on socials or have listened to any of the previous episodes of the podcast, you might be aware that I have been traveling here, there, and everywhere with keynote speaking opportunities. And one of the things that I have just recently done is a incredible talk, incredible even if I do say so myself, for the International Coaching Festival that is hosted by the wonderful Laurie Burrows. And I dive deep into high ticket selling and how you can start attracting more premium buyers into your audience now. And this is going to be a really hot topic for me for really the next few years. Why? Because we're in such a unique place when it comes to coaching and the industry. It's super exciting. Coaching is now no longer weird. When I first started 10 years ago, the idea of a life coach was really, really strange. And I think that within the next 5 years, having a coach of any kind is going to be just as common as having a therapist. And that is really great for you and really great for me. And because we are going to see demand increase, more and more people are going to come into the marketplace, which means what happens as a market matures is we see a rapid rate of commoditization, which means prices go down. And in the book Blue Ocean Strategy, as prices go down, they call that the red ocean. And really, what happens is the bigger players who are able to deliver at a lower cost eat up all of the people who are kind of playing around in the middle or are charging low ticket, but as coaches and service providers, actually burning out because we are overworking and being underpaid. So, whilst there are going to be more and more coaches than ever in the marketplace, in order for you to stay ahead, in order for you to create a sustainable business, and in order for you to really allow yourself to play with what it means to differentiate in this marketplace, high ticket is one of the best opportunities for you to master now. Not only is it going to give you your time, your freedom, your energy back now, it is also going to set you up for when in 3, 4, 5 years' time, we see more coaches than ever in the marketplace, all trying to compete with people who are charging 50, 60, 70, 80, £100 an hour. That is not the game that we want to play. And creating a high ticket offer completely changed my life and business. And so it's really important for me, with all of the people that we are coaching, to be incredible coaches, and those people who are already incredible coaches but want to add a revenue stream that has the potential to put multiple six or seven figures into your business, how to do this and how to do this powerfully. So take a listen to the episode. Please let me know how it vibes with you. And if you know that actually the time is right for you, please reach out to me, because I have a 6-week high ticket offer incubator happening in the middle of July. I've got some crazy bonuses and crazy incentives. Basically, I am so confident in the system that I have got for putting together an absolutely irresistible offer and supporting you to sell it within 6 weeks, even if you've got a tiny audience and no freaking ad budget, that I am going to give you a place on my retreat. So you sell your offer and I will reward you by taking you away for 3 whole days and blowing your mind in April. It's going to be so much fun. There's loads of other stuff that is included, but if this is already starting to sound interesting, please apply at susieashworth.com/join the incubator. It's a really intimate space because there's a lot of high touch and input from me as well as my team. So I'm being super selective about who this is going to be right for. So without any further ado, take a listen to the episode. And if you love it, please reach it out.
Welcome to the Art of High Ticket Selling with me, your host, Susie Mother Truckin' Ashworth. And for those of you who are not at all familiar with me, I have been in the coaching industry now for 11 years, which is incredible. I have worked with hundreds of clients in close proximity, thousands of people around the world through my courses, programs, and free challenges to help them create massive changes in their lives and in their businesses. I am known as the Leap Lady. People come to me when they're ready to make a quantum transformation. I'm a 2 times Hay House author. My second book, Infinite Receiving, is a Sunday Times bestseller. I've been featured in Psychology, The Guardian, Independent, Good Housekeeping, many, many other places. And if I'm really, really honest with you, my primary role in life is my kids. I'm a single mum of 3 children. Their ages are 13, 11, and 7. They keep me humble, they keep me focused, and they keep me motivated. And I am here with you today to help you see why, if you haven't done it already, that you absolutely need to commit to creating your first or next high ticket offer that you are willing to sell. This is the vibe of this whole presentation. So why you should listen to me, at least take a few notes when it comes to high ticket offers, is since 2020, I have brought in over £6 million in revenue through my coaching programs and courses. I primarily work with coaches and help good coaches to become great coaches. And our focus as a team is working with people first on what keeps them playing a smaller game than they know what is possible for them in the first instance. Second instance is sharing with people neurological, somatic, and energetic tools to help them help their clients create more powerful, more potent, more accelerated transformations in their work. And then the third piece is helping people with their businesses. And this is what we are talking about today. So £420,000 is what I made in 2019, is about 40,000 less than what I had made in 2018. So I'm not going to lie to you, I was pissed. But in 2020, I made £1.2 million, and I did that primarily by adding one high ticket offer that I sold again and again and again. So my question for you is, are you open and willing to imagine tripling your income over the next 12 months? I hope that that answer is yes. What I want to invite you to do really briefly is just take a moment to allow your eyes to gently close and focus on your breath for a moment or so. Just gently breathing in an increasing sense of calm and ease, breathing out any worries, any stresses, any anxieties. And what I invite you to do is just for a moment, imagine yourself, see yourself waking up in the morning feeling happy and excited to go into your inbox And right there, see clients, dreamboat clients saying things like, I'm in. Where's the link? How can I pay? To your offers that are not worth tens of pounds, hundreds of pounds, but thousands and thousands of pounds. And I want you to feel into how that feels in your body. And for anybody who's like, oh, actually, that feels tight, after this presentation, I want you to commit to just going back to that really brief visualization and then imagining people wanting to pay you 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 25,000 for your offers and services. And keep on doing that visualization until it feels okay in your body. Because if you have ever had the experience of getting to the end of the year, scrolling through Instagram and seeing everybody celebrating and like, yay, I'm doing really, really well, and thinking, what the heck am I doing wrong? Like, what is the missing piece in my business? Why is it people with half the skill set who have been in the business half the time are coming zooming past me? Like, what is the missing piece? What I want to say to you is the quickest way to go from frustrated and sad to excited and glad is for you to introduce and sell a high ticket offer to your offer suite. This is going to exponentially increase your influence, your income, and your impact. Because the type of people who are open, willing, and available to investing in your premium offers are people who have already decided that they are willing to hold themselves accountable for being radically responsible for becoming unstoppable. These are the people who are not looking to be saved, they're looking for a system, which means that when they have an offer presented to them that ticks the boxes for the transformation that they are desiring to experience, they invest. And it's a very different energy from the person who has had to scrape together their last £1,000 and are hoping that you have the magic pill for them and you are going to be able to save them. Very, very, very different energy. And when you have people at that dreamboat level who are, as I say, willing to take radical responsibility for themselves within your programs, those are the people that you are able to have maximum impact with within their community and then every single person that they touch. So what you're creating every time you make an offer and every time somebody says yes is the seed for a tidal wave of positive impact, both for you, your family, and the lives of every single person that your dreamboat client gets to touch. And that, my friend, is impact. That is exciting. I want you to know that you are just one conversation away from changing your world today, if you are willing to create and sell your high ticket offer. And I say this not from a place of £5,000 is the thing that's going to change your life, or £10,000 is the thing that's going to change your life. What's going to change your life once you created and sold it is knowing that you've been able to do it once. How I went from 420,000 to 1.2 million is a £15,000 offer that I sold once, and then again, and then again, and then again, and again. And that was life-changing. And as Albert Einstein says, imagination, so how you think, what is going on between your ears, is everything. It is the preview to life's coming attractions. And that is why I got you to do the mini visualization at the start of this presentation. I want you to start imagining exactly what is possible. The more you imagine, the more you then start to consciously and subconsciously work out who is the individual that you get to be that starts to receive high ticket payments on demand. So the three mistakes that people make when it comes to creating and selling high ticket offers are as follows. Mistake number one, is thinking that you don't have high ticket buyers in your audience. This is one of the most common myths that I hear all of the time. Last week I did a presentation in front of about 130 people, and I wanted to demonstrate just how many high ticket buyers were there in that audience, knowing that statistically, irrespective of the size of your list, that there will be 2% of people on that list who are ready to buy high ticket offers. Now, I asked two questions to this audience. The first question is, how many of you own a house? Pretty much 80% of the audience raised their hand. I said, how many of you bought that house in cash? There was only one hand left up. Now, the question is buying a house a want or a need? It's a want. Nobody needs to buy a house. And only one of those people who wanted to buy the house actually had the money for it. Everybody else borrowed the money because buying a house to them ticked the boxes of their desires. And for many of them, they were looking at that purchase as an investment that they were going to get a return on. This is how people who are buying high ticket offers think. The second question that I asked is, how many of you here have a new car? Oh my goodness, 60% of the people that who are in that audience raised their hand to having a new car. Now, the hilarious thing about having a new car is that that car depreciates the minute you drive off the forecourt. So you're not buying it because it's a good investment. You're buying it because it ticks the boxes of your desires. It ticks the boxes when it comes to your status. It is a luxury purchase. 60% of that audience had all bought a new car. There are high ticket buyers in every audience in abundance. Your job is to work out what their desires are. Mistake number two, a lack of certainty. People buy based off emotion and the certainty of the person who is making the invitation. If you feel unsure about whether you have a dreamboat client in front of you, you should not be making an offer. If you feel unsure about the caliber of your program, you are going to come across as though you are unsure, and you should not be making an offer. Now, if you're doubting whether your dreamboat client or the person who's standing in front of you has the money, again, they're going to feel your lack of certainty. And the reality is, as with the house example, as with the car example, because again, I asked how many of you had the cash for your car. Not very many people. It's none of your business about whether somebody has the money or not. Because if you want to buy a car that's going to depreciate, you'll find the money. You want to buy a house that you don't need, you're going to find the money. If somebody is in front of you who is a dreamboat client who wants the transformation that your product is offering, they will find the money. And your lack of certainty about whether they have the personal power to tap into that or not is killing sales. So let's stop with the lack of certainty. And mistake number three is that you are not speaking to your dreamboat client. This is really, really important. What happens when people feel like I don't have the right person in my audience? They will frequently broaden their message. And the more you broaden the message, the less appealing you are to anybody. When you are very specific and are willing to speak to your dreamboat client, I call this the level 10 client. When you speak to level 10, somebody who's at level 1 understands that you've already had to go through their level in order to be mentoring, coaching, supporting people at level 10. And so when you speak to level 10, you speak to all of the levels beneath you. But if you're only speaking to level 1 and 2 because you think that they're the only people that you have in your audience, even if you are able to serve levels 8, 9, and 10, they do not believe that you are able to work with them because you're not speaking to them in your messaging. So you've got to be very specific and speak to the problems that you are able to solve that your dreamboat client has in the language that they have. Okay, so we are going to stop making those mistakes and we are going to focus on what it is that we get to do in order to sell high ticket offers without the push, without the it, even if you only have a tiny list. So secret number one is to create a truly irresistible offer. So what makes a truly irresistible offer? A simple framework. So that means 3 to 5 pillars at most. Often you find that people want to make their offers sound really complicated, add all of the stuff in order to justify the price. Actually, simplicity sells, and the more steps that you talk about, even if there are a lot of steps, the more steps that you talk about, the more opportunities you are giving the client to say, I don't think I can do that. So when we can keep it very, very simple, this is the 3-step framework. These are the 5 core pillars of my program that we will work through over a period of 6 months, 12 months, 1 day. That is really, really powerful when it comes to people being like, okay, I can get my head around that. The second step is a super clear promise. This is the outcome that you will experience. Now, people get really, really cagey about this because they're afraid that they will not be able to deliver on the promise. What I want to remind you of is that you are only making offers to your dreamboat client. So I want you to look at your offer and I want you to ask yourself, if I have the dreamiest of dreamboat people here who do all of the things I say to them to do, are they going to get the outcome that they desire? And if the answer is yes, you get to use that outcome and you commit to yourself to not making offers to people who are not dreamboats. Part 3 of creating a truly irresistible offer is give people a reason to invest now. And sometimes that's done with bonuses, disappearing incentives. But one of the most powerful things for you to learn how to do is to be able to speak to people about what it's costing them to not make the move. So, as I said right in the beginning, if you don't make and create an offer that you're willing to sell, that costs you not just £5,000 today, £10,000 tomorrow, but tens of thousands of pounds, maybe hundreds of thousands of pounds, or even millions when it comes to you exponentially increasing your impact, influence, and income. Secret number 2. Personal invitations when it comes to high ticket selling are amazing. I want to give you an example of one of my clients who likes to see if she can tap into my audience. She runs retreats that are between $25,000 and $30,000 per person for a 4-day experience. Really, really premium, highly curated. What she does is run these retreats every 6 months or so. And the goal is to have between 1 and 5 women who are participating. And what she doesn't do Facebook ads. She does promote on her network, but she sends out just little DMs to her network. Do you know anybody that would love to have this experience? Would you love to have this experience? If so, I will send you through some details. How simple is that? The last time that she asked me if I was open and available, I actually said no, but I immediately thought of somebody who I know loves to create the highest end experiences for her clients. And so I just dropped her a message to say that I have a client who runs these really beautiful experiences. If you're ever coming to Europe and would love me to connect you, please let me know. It would be a privilege. That is as simple as it gets to be when it comes to increasing your network. So it's really really thinking about the relationships that you already have, where you can simply say, do you know anybody who? The better you get at connecting with people, the more DMs you get to send like that. No link, no, this is the whole thing. No splurging on anybody, just saying, I'm working on this. Do you know anybody who would be interested in hearing more about it? And from that, you then give people, it's a very elegant way, a spacious way of giving people the opportunity to say, oh, that sounds interesting, or no, thank you. Secret number 3 is that you need to listen 80% more than you speak. And this is text, this is voice notes, and this is especially on calls, because telling isn't selling. Your job is to get really great at asking really powerful and potent questions that allow your dreamboat client to get the clarity that they need in order to see that your product or service is the next logical step when it comes to solving the problem that they have. And if you're telling them everything, what happens is that they will nod, and then they will need to digest and think about things. Whereas if they are telling themselves, they are telling themselves. So listen way more than you speak and ask great questions. So to recap, know that high ticket buyers are everywhere. You get to release the lack of certainty you have when presenting your product. Know that it is the best thing since sliced bread. And I want you to be speaking directly to the pain and or desires of your dreamboat client. You get to create a truly irresistible offer using those 3 steps that I have guided you through. I encourage you to make personal invitations before you worry about big webinars and masterclasses. And I want you to make sure that when you get into conversation with people about your product or service, that you are listening 80% of the time. It gets to be easy.
So, how did it go? I hope that this episode has been super helpful and it's really planted some seeds and food for thought for you to actually look at how have you been approaching high ticket selling and where are there opportunities for you to grow. So, I love it when you share about the podcast. So, don't forget to tag me on Instagram. So, this is it from me today. I want to remind you to remember that faith plus